Alright, cool. What's up, gamers and gamettes?
That's how
we're here at TechRaptor. We're not affiliated with EA at all. Today we went to the EA Play 2018 #, where we saw brand ambassadors Migos perform a couple of their songs for us about video games and EA Sports.
It's in the
Raindrop, drop top.
We also played a few games.
A few.
One or two.
So yeah, I'm Nick.
I'm Alex.
To my right is Rutledge, our fearless leader. To his right is Sam.
I'm
and
here.
then to
He
his
plays all the
far
bad
left
games.
is Alex.
Hi there.
Once upon a time, I give him.
Behind the camera is Daniel.
Hello.
And then the other two losers aren't here because they're
Losers.
They don't like-
one loves his mom.
This is such an edge cast.
Really
I'm sorry.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. We felt like having
Close
some
up on
fun
me.
tonight.
Okay.
Get rid of the deceptive opinion here.
Get rid of the peasant.
I'd like you to Photoshop him. I want 3D graphics
Okay.
of a
All
rabbit
right.
biting him.
I'm just taking notes back
Good,
here.
thank you.
I'll do all this in post.
Hold on, I got.
I'll do all this in post.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we today was EA Play, which is the event where we all got sunburned.
I believe it's pronounced E-Play.
It was outside.
Pro tip:
It was
it was outdoors. It was very
none of us knew.
Double
It
pro
was-
tip: we could have gotten sunscreen for free.
They were giving out sunscreen. We didn't notice until after we needed the sunscreen.
They were giving out umbrella hats, and they didn't give us any.
It was definitely the most organized event I've been to in my tenure of being a gamesman, and I honestly don't. I actually honestly left with a really positive impression. All the games were pretty good that we played.
Yeah.
Battlefield is pretty solid right now, and I think everybody in this room played it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all played it.
I knew the answer to that.
Me and Red.
We'll have some gameplay later. We spent a lot of time playing it today.
Yeah,
Extended
this
session.
afternoon.
God, I think we have like 50 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
Um,
we have quite a
That
bit.
you can't talk about. It's
Did we-
embargoed.
Oh, I'm
Well, I mean,
sorry.
we can talk about the
Sorry, I was-
footage. We're just not allowed
Right.
to talk about
But
it.
Sam and Nick waited online so they could talk about it all day
Can we
long.
talk about that embargo for a moment?
Sure.
It was the same thing that you could play outside.
Yeah.
Oh, was it really?
That was.
Yeah, so it was like, wait, why can't we? I mean, whatever.
So please tell us. The
But yeah,
embargo-
so-
It was
I
a bit
guess-
weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but other than like that silliness, I think it was a pretty solid game. What were your impressions on it, Ruffus?
Shooters, as the Battle Royale junkie, I'm very excited. Should be. Starting a series soon. Play as many Battle Royales as I possibly can. But, yeah, I mean, it's a solid shooter. Almost all the mechanics felt great.
Almost all.
There were some bugs.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about the bugs. Give me the deets
I don't know
on
if
the
I
bad stuff.
can under the NDA.
fuck.
Because, like, technically I can't talk
So-
about them. So I'm trying to be very general without, like, getting in trouble with EA.
Games are developed
Because we do care about following NDAs for the most part.
Totally.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Actually, I guess we can be super vague. There weren't bugs, like there was no like T-poses or anything
Yeah.
like
There's
that.
just some, like, weird stuff.
It was
Stuff you'd
gameplay
expect.
discrepancies that I think after like 2 or 3 hours of playing the game, you would just kind of get over.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's that thing that right away when you're looking for something wrong,
Yeah.
like I guess that shows like the quality of the game that we really had to look for something to not like.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, like, I couldn't find much wrong other than, like, a couple things here and there. Maybe the respawn system is a little frustrating because there's a huge delay between the time that you die and the time that you are able to be revived or whatever before the, like, revive timer comes up. And so that was kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
But I'm not, like, a Battlefield veteran, so I don't... That's not a game I've played a whole lot of.
That is new though.
Is it new?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
For
think
this
it's.
If it's new, then yeah, it's not my favorite.
I think it's because there's no button that Call of Duty has a button where it's like, oh, you've been down. Do you want to wait for a medic or you just want to off yourself?
Well, you just
You just want to off yourself.
like old Battlefield, like going back to like the first
You
one.
can just respawn.
Well, you could kill yourself.
Yeah.
If you were
Right.
drowning or something, like you had the option to kill yourself or wait. And
Yeah.
I think it's just them bringing back like, here's something they used to do back in 1942.
Yeah.
What was the, whatever the first one?
That was the first
42,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the mechanic is they don't want people instantly spawning. It probably changes how the engagements work a little bit. So I mean, it makes sense. It would just be nice if it was a little more fluid between the time that you died and the time that that timer popped up, because you're just kind of sitting there just like, okay, am I bugged or what's kind of going on right now?
Because it's essentially like a 3-stage process, right?
Yeah.
So like you get hit, you go down, you're down for a second, and then you're almost respawned as a downed person.
Yeah, so you're laying on the ground bleeding out essentially. You can choose to call for help, in which you're like, ah! And the timer slows a little bit, but if you let go, it goes faster, and then you just die.
And then there's still the respawn timer after that.
Yeah, then there's the respawn timer after
so
that.
So to not break NDA. Not to break my DNA in front of everybody. I think it's actually because, and they said this during the conference, the squad system that they have set up, where like you can be the last man standing in your squad, and you kind of want to retreat a little bit and let everyone spawn on you.
Yep.
So it kind of gives that, okay, I can go back and bring my guy up, or else we all wipe and then we get pushed back to the very back corner.
Yep.
And that's been in a lot of them, but
which does make a lot of sense. I did see that quite a bit, where my squad would die, or a couple squads would die, and where our team would be pushed back pretty significantly. Have to sprint all the way back.
It's definitely the prettiest battlefield.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous.
It literally looks like that reveal trailer.
Yeah, it's
like
really...
it's on the same level of that graphically.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that they said the reveal trailer was made in engine.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, but actually being in engine and being actual
playable
gameplay are very
the thing I noticed from it, and even in like the trailers they showed and everything, the overlay is not overbearing at all.
No.
It's so minimal that it's like
unintrusive.
I don't want to fucking trigger everyone right now, but it's really cinematic.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, it's
still 6 frames per second though.
So and then there's I shared a forbidden image of Battlefield between all of us.
Oh no, the forbidden image.
I will not show.
I'll show it.
Yeah, Nick took a picture of the screen and then put it up on Instagram, and then we went, oh crap, NDA!
Did you really put it on Instagram
for like 5 seconds, and then I walked around to the other side where there's no screen.
It wasn't even a cool picture.
It was the forbidden image.
He took the cool picture after that because it was of me.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was the forbidden image.
That was the forbidden image.
No, the forbidden image was of the girl.
Yeah, the girl on the
you can play
the title screen.
Don't tell anybody.
That's fine.
That's fine.
So what else did we play?
Y'all played.
Alright, so get the controversy out of the way early.
What else let's get all the controversy out of the way.
So we just put up a video of a very glowing first, probably a bit too much.
We were definitely a little
first impression of Command & Conquer Rivals,
which really all of us liked.
Yeah, that's
and I'm sorry if you hate what they're doing to the genre or to the series, but it is
what we know.
A really fun game.
Yeah, it's a mobile RTS free to play game.
And obviously we'll see what they'll do monetization wise, but judging by the way they talked in the conference, I'm not too worried about monetization getting out of control.
I mean, it's going to be
standard 100%. Mobile monetization.
Yeah, right.
Is what
it's most likely going to be like, hey, you want this general that is from this EA game you really like? It's Shepard. Is $6.
No, they got a rich history of.
Yeah,
they got more than enough Command & Conquer people.
Yeah, but they'll pull other EA shit in it.
I want to play as
Ric Flair.
Because no one gives
I want to play as what's his
King.
Billy
Dean Williams.
Yeah, I want to play as Lando.
So what you're telling me right now is that the lore for Command & Conquer is so good that you literally just waffled.
Yeah.
This guy's name.
I
really want. When I said
100%,
you guys are like, they have a ton of Command & Conquer people that are better than that, like
Lando.
Okay. Lando Calrissian.
He was in 3.
The main guy,
I think.
The main guy for Command & Conquer Renegade, the first-person shooter. Everyone loves that game.
David Hasselhoff was in one of them.
Is that true?
Hasselhoff was like the vice president.
They had so many people.
Yeah.
George Takei was in one.
Have you ever watched like the videos of like the cutscenes from the old Command & Conquers?
No.
It's like 80s, 90s cheesy computer FMV kicked up to 50. They're so good.
They're
so
phenomenal.
bad. They're really good.
They're pretty great.
Ric Flair wrestled the bear once in one of them.
Tim Curry
That's all I know.
Tim Curry goes to space to run away from capitalism in one of them. It's great.
It's literally like they had a dartboard and they threw it and went like, okay, well let's get the actor to do this now.
Especially some of the newer, like, not newer, but some of the later ones in the series. They've had a lot of actors roll through, so there's definitely a lot to pull from.
Near the end, that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the game played well.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
just to keep us on.
Like we said, like they said in the video, 5 to 7 minutes to play for the most part. Quick, easy, super simple to pick up.
Seems like an iteration on Clash of Clans with a little bit more. So
a little bit more strategy
and
to it.
Clash of Clans is a horrible business system, so if they can improve on that front too, then
I did like Clash
worth checking
or
out.
not Clash of Clans.
Clash
Royale.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think Clash Royale is probably what you're thinking
Yeah,
of. The
well,
one where
Clash
you've got the
of
2
Clans,
towers.
They're the same like world, but yeah, Clash
Same
Royale.
world, yeah, but
Right.
completely
Clash of
different
Clans is
gameplay.
very you're building towers.
Yeah, Clash Royale
Clash
definitely
Royale.
very similar.
That's
Where you're
right.
basically you're dropping units and just back and forth trying to combat.
I think probably the biggest difference is what Nick said of calling it a tug of war. Yeah, really being able to see that tug of war going the entire time, like feeling that tide shift.
Yeah.
Like it provides that immediacy that a lot of games don't have.
Yeah, just because there's the timer on the nuclear missile.
And there's even a bar that's moving towards the color, and you see it going like that. Like, it's just watching it go towards me. I was going, oh fuck, like really loud.
So like all of these big plans that you had about like, oh well, I'm gonna save up all my resources. And
No,
then
then there's a nuke pointed at you. It's like, nope,
no,
I'm gonna go out.
Yeah, you're sending out soldiers, and I'm like, nope, I'm saving it up till I can get the big tank, and then all of a sudden I get nuked. I'm like, God, yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be fun when it comes out, and honestly, I think the people that are bummed out because of the name just kind of got to get over it. And
Well, we talked about it too afterwards. Like, they didn't even say the name until the end of the presentation, and we were all just like, "This is really cool."
Yeah.
And then they said the name, and I was like, "Oh, huh." And I think had they not attached the Command and Conquer name to it, people would be completely on board with it. But because the name is attached to it, it's going to have a negative stigma.
But what's in the name, right?
Yeah.
You gotta spend money to make money.
Well, even like I was standing in the back area at that time, and during the trailer, I could hear people mumbling, like, "Oh, this is fucking cool," and like because I'm a nosy white person, I'm like eavesdropping on people's phones and they're texting, and people were like, "Oh, this looks really cool. This looks cool." It's like I said, Command and Conquer. Half the people were like, "All right," and then you just heard some people go like, "Man, fuck." I literally just watched this guy texting and he just goes, like it just all of a sudden the game went from being awesome to just like, oh, this sucks.
Well, it's just a nail in the coffin for anyone who is still holding out hope for another Command and Conquer.
Like Command and Conquer, they
Yeah.
weren't going to buy, but we're going to be happy it
That's
existed.
That's the thing too. Like if RTS is really sold well, which they don't, then EA would be making it.
Not in
because-
recent years, at least.
Yeah, but like if they were like selling gangbusters now, EA would be making them because it's EA, their business.
Yeah.
I do love an RTS.
All right, less controversial games. What else do you guys?
All right, so
Well, Unravel 2.
yeah, me and
Yeah.
Alex played Unravel 2, which was like the big news was it got announced and launched today. So hey, you can go buy
I
Unravel
was
2.
surprised.
We got Yarny. Unfortunately, if you think I know how to do this is like that's
Yeah,
Yarny.
I'm sure it
It's
comes with
really
instructions.
complicated.
It comes
Dude,
with
I'm gonna give up in like
It comes
3
with
minutes.
a 3-step instructions, which is wrap it around more, and again, you don't put the eyes in.
Does it come with a needle?
No.
Of course not. That's dangerous.
Also, the instructions are a really cool thing. By the way, the instructions for those are done by the guy who announced the game and everything, got on the stage and all that. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe that's why the instructions suck, because he doesn't design instructions.
That might be it. But it's cool.
He designs
'cause
great
it's,
games.
It's his. He does. It's cool because it's his hands on the picture. You can tell by all the tattoos and stuff. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
But anyway, we played Unravel 2, and it's a co-op platformer. You get Yarny. You get. Does the buddy have a name?
The second Yarny. I think
The
they're both. It's the Yarny
It's red
is a
and blue.
race.
Well, we
race
made
first.
him.
You can change the colors.
You can change the colors. We made I made my Yarny green and wear a dress, so we're just not going to talk about that.
Wait, you could actually put on
There's like
phones
two
on the
options.
Yeah,
This
there's,
feels really. What's the
Little Big
PlayStation
Planet?
game? Yeah.
Yeah, a little.
I was actually just about
Yeah.
to say that. Yeah.
But
and it's the whole point is the two Yarnies are connected via string,
yeah,
and you're kind of pushing and pulling between each other, pushing around blocks and stuff.
you can tie the strings up, make trampolines. They actually, funny enough, they just had like the entire game at E3. It was literally the whole game front to back. You could just go through the whole thing.
No,
Well,
there was a line.
There was a line. We had to make way for the CEO.
We
and
tried
his
to
kid.
review it, but it didn't work out.
The CEO and his kid, by the way, played the game. Or was it the guy who was like, "Hey, I can't wait to bring my kid to play Arnie too." He was there.
Oh
They
yeah.
were playing together.
When
yeah.
he said it on stage, it was like, "Oh, this is a great little little."
Yeah.
play
Yeah, it's like,
there."
oh,
Yeah.
that's it. No, they were actually there.
And then
playing.
you walked over, like we walked by, and he's like sitting there, looking at her as she's putting one of those things together.
Yeah,
He's, like,
it's
smiling. I'm like, oh my god, why do we hate EA again?
it turns out there are humans working there.
Gross.
What else did we?
So Yarny, just to keep on, Unravel 2. What's the name of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's Yarny.
It really should be Yarny.
It should be Yarny.
But
Alright,
it's
yeah,
not.
Unravel 2.
I don't know how far you guys got, but me and this Japanese guy got pretty fucking far. But I only brought in the Japanese because this dude knew like no English. I didn't know any Japanese, and we were able to just kind of like communicate and figure out all like some pretty complicated puzzles in the game, and almost get pretty far.
Oh, I think we got like near the end of the first. If I had
Yeah.
to take a guess, I'd say we were probably at the end of the first chapter.
Yeah,
About.
it felt like it.
So that
Yeah.
game came out today.
It came out today.
Yeah.
And people have already been talking about beating it.
It's.
How long is this?
4 hours?
Our guess
That's
is
what
it's
seemed
probably
like.
about 4 hours, which
Yeah.
it's a $15 game, right? Like,
And that does track with the first one too.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
It's a cute little $15 co-op
Yeah.
platform. I'm not super concerned if it's only like 5 hours.
And you can play it single player.
You can
also.
play
You
single
don't
player.
have to
Yeah,
go
you
on.
don't have to co-op. It's if you play single player, then you can pick up the other Yarny and it like wraps around you. You get a hug. It's cute.
Well, that's even in co-op. That's how we were solving some puzzles. Like
Yeah,
absorb
you can
into
do that
it, you
co-op
would
too.
Jump and it's a really cool game. That's another one that I left like, damn EA, you're just knocking out of the park this year.
Yeah, what they had the EA Sports. Did anyone play any of the EA Sports games?
I actually played all of them.
Hey,
Okay,
before
there
we
we
get
go.
into EA
Yeah,
Sports, let's
let's-
talk about some of the other
EA
smaller.
Sports.
It's in the game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the other smaller games. So like Yarny level games. So they had some.
Okay,
Um,
I think I'm the only one that actually played it. I went and played The Sims.
I did too.
Oh,
No, I
yeah,
was there
Sam did too.
Yeah.
That's why his hair's green.
You
You
can't
know,
play
a little
it
bit.
anymore.
It's the same thing that it's always been. They just added more, but it's a pretty solid iPad game.
Yeah, they
Like,
had.
It's not.
I was messing around with The Sims Mobile. I think I made someone take a shower. That's my great Sims accomplishment. They had The Sims 4 too. I think were they showing off an expansion? I'm not really sure.
I think it was just an expansion, and then
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to play it. And then
They're
some
all-
lady took green chalk and made me a Sims. Now I have a green diamond over my head. You can control me.
Did anyone go to the racing game?
Yeah, I did actually. While you guys were, it was
Was
so.
that an EA game?
Yeah, it was Real Racing 3. I don't really know. That game came out in
It was
2013.
an iPad game.
Yeah, I looked it up while I was waiting in line. That game came out in 2013.
Wait, Real Racing 3 did or Real Racing?
Real Racing 3.
Huh.
I think it was just that was.
I
Like
think
an,
it was just
an
Phil.
attraction.
Like I was.
There was also
There was
a
this
ball
guy. Yeah, there was. I'll get to that in a second because I was checking all that out. But
pit. Great.
there was this guy in line who asked a question about. I don't remember exactly what his question was, but the guy running the Real Racing game was like, "Well, this is a special version of the game. It's only single player. It's only a couple of races and all that. Also, we set it so you accelerate automatically because we figured that would be too hard to teach people how to accelerate." And I'm sitting there like, how hard can it be to teach people to accelerate? Like,
It's
how
a
hard?
racing game.
And then the first person picks up the controller, goes backwards, hits another car, and is like, I don't know how to play this game. And then someone else picks it up, they're holding the brake down the entire. It's like, oh no. So that's
Oh, no.
Suddenly I realized why they made the acceleration
So
automatic.
that's why I got the text about these people should not be Uber drivers.
Oh man, no, these should not be Uber drivers. There were people like going off the course, like up
Yeah.
trees. I don't know. It was Real Racer. I tried playing it. They had like a little weird setup where you sat in a nice chair and you had a racing wheel.
I mean, they had a cool setup.
It was a
for
nice little setup, but
It didn't look-
it's just an iPad racing game. Like It's cute. I have no strong feelings about it. It existed. It came out in 2013, but it was a filler game. Then next to it, they had Plants vs. Zombies 2 was there.
They had a ball pit.
Yeah, they had a ball pit. There was a Plants vs. Zombie themed ball pit. I considered going into it, but I decided I'm 25. I shouldn't do that.
Also, germs.
You can get arrested for that, I think. Yeah.
What?
That's only if they tell you to leave.
You get arrested.
Only if you didn't bring a kid to the Chuck E. Cheese.
TechRaptor After Dark.
Yeah. Alright, they had Plants vs. Zombie Garden Warfare 2 there. They had a big screen with Bejeweled Blitz. I tried playing it. They had like this big touch screen that it didn't work. Like you try.
The thing that bothers me about that is that is already a thing that you can play at like friggin' Dave & Buster's and stuff.
Totally.
Why didn't they just go get one from a Dave & Buster's and stick
it doesn't.
there?
It didn't.
EA doesn't have the money for that.
So-
They hire amigos.
They also had Tetris Blitz, and I watched someone play it, and the game froze, and they had to like shut off the whole thing, reboot it, and then I found out it was like, it's like they're running BlueStacks on a giant touchscreen to emulate it. It was weird, and I don't really know why it was there, but it gave me something to do you guys while playing Battlefield without
Mobile
me.
games.
Battlefield without.
I guess before we get on other video games, since we're on smaller things, the prize booth was cool.
Oh yeah, there was a prize booth.
Yeah, so they had a prize booth and an app set up that I downloaded, and after every game, you like scan this QR code, and you're supposed to be like, okay, go get your prize. The fucking thing doesn't work. So
I think that goes to show for a lot of the
Yeah.
mobile app quality.
like, so Sam and I leave Battlefield, and we're trying to scan this thing. We walk over, and this girl's like, "Oh, go get your dog tags." I'm like, "Okay." Walk over, he's like, "You're on the system," and then we're just kind of like working it, and then finally this dude just gives up and just gives us the stuff. And then I'm just like, "Hey, what about those glasses? What do I have to do for that?" And he just goes, "I don't know, just ask for them." And gives them to me. And then I walk around from it, and I go, "Wait a minute," and I just go back and go, "Hey, I played every game," and like they just handed me this. Another hat, a water bottle.
We just got handed
pretty much
things.
half of the shit there.
This is
They just
our.
have-
This is our pile.
Well, and because I actually played FIFA and was like, well, I kind of want to go back because there was like a code, and then I see this dad who's like, yeah, I played every game, didn't I? Yeah, okay, let me just get one of everything. And they're like, all right. But yeah, so that was the prize booth. It was really cool.
I don't know if all the people that were there were. I don't think they were all EA employees. I don't think all the red shirts were EA employees.
They were
They
all
were.
out.
Some of them were EA
There was
employees. Some of them were
Definitely
just
some
like,
disorganization
yeah.
between
Yeah,
EA
yeah.
and the people that were running.
Yeah, so Live
EA
Nation
Play.
actually was putting on the show, and EA was just like in charge of it. You know what I mean? So Live Nation people, the people that run like the doors at concerts, those are the people that were all over the place staff.
Right.
Yeah, it was like
Live
when I got
Nation,
my-
Live Nation dropped the ball in a couple different ways.
I don't think
today.
Live Nation's ever held the ball.
When I got my badge, even like my wristband, I was still waiting in line because I was like, well, let me just get my badge. And the guy in front of me, she's just like, here, just take them, and just started doing this. Just
Yeah,
go
so
in.
these black ones, these are the all access.
These are
Super VIP.
And we,
Mine's
so
off.
we registered as press. Like it was just a whole thing. They didn't have press badges printed out. It was interesting. I know Angry Joe had problems today, and a
Everybody
lot
I
of other
talked
media
to.
I
friends
think
that we talked to had friends today.
WCC Tech we ran into.
Yeah,
they had
WCCF Tech had
problems.
issues.
The worst thing is that, like, when you have that many people all in at a certain time, it just compounds those issues, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We stood in the sun for what, like an hour?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
Just
there
standing
with
there, not knowing
plenty
what
of
was
time.
going on.
You could look at my head and see that.
Yeah,
That
was definitely
even
frustrating.
even the Steelers guy that was on the stage,
Juju Smith-Schuster.
yeah, even he had issues getting in. Like
I hate the
I watched
Steelers, but I
someone-
love his name.
It
And
is-
his pants.
Sounds like a
his pants
wizard.
were
with
dope.
that
and he had that belt with him.
Oh, wizard.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing was weird.
Yeah. I mean, that was probably one of the only downsides of EA Play. Everything else was a lot of fun. There was just some disorganization with the badges and us getting in that, you know, we could have gotten in sooner to explore.
Which,
a lot
that's
more.
just logistics stuff.
Yeah,
right?
which
Like
at the end of the
that's
day,
all.
that doesn't matter for the games.
Well, there
Um,
was one big not good game.
Well, wait.
Yeah. Do you wanna?
Let
which
me
one?
let me do a rapid fire on sports.
Oh, yeah, let's get the rapid fire sports out of the way, and then I'm gonna
since
talk
I'm
about.
going to play them all. All right, FIFA. really cool. Played for like a minute on the Xbox, and then this guy walked over who was like a goddamn FIFA pro. So I was like, "Why am I playing with this guy?" So I went over to the Switch. It's the same. I didn't see the PlayStation ads because I wasn't paying attention, but it's pretty fun on the Switch. Not gonna lie. Madden. It's Madden. It's solid. It's a football game. If you're into that, you're gonna love it. If not, you're not gonna like it. NHL. It's NHL. It's solid. If you're into hockey games, you're gonna love it.
I
If
feel
you're
like
into hockey games, you're not gonna like
it's
it.
blank each time.
NBA, better than the last one. It's not a broken mess. So that's cool. Madden on PC, I didn't play that. I don't know if they had it there.
They did. I actually went over to Madden. I played the PC.
How did that look?
It was actually beautiful.
Because I can imagine that's like jaw dropping.
It was really not. I mean, I haven't played any of the past Madden games since the last Madden game I played was like 2000. So I can't really compare. It looks beautiful compared to 2000.
It was 07.
Yeah, I think that's. The players were like you could see the players were like really well detailed. They were like sweaty from the plays. I noticed the sweaty men.
Wow.
Well, there we go. TechRaptor after dark. Goodbye, guys.
I'm actually curious. Were you on a mouse and keyboard?
I noticed they had one like tucked away like under the thing, but I played on the Xbox controller because I'm a console peasant.
That's like the people that play like Assassin's Creed on a mouse and keyboard. Like I don't know how the fuck they do.
And then
that's insane.
I play everything on a mouse and keyboard.
Granted, I revealed my trick for playing.
Oh god,
yeah,
it's terrible.
Nick
does
plays.
this.
Okay, so Nick plays with a controller and a keyboard and mouse. So with his left hand, he holds the movement of the controller,
stick, basically,
and then he uses the mouse for aiming. And it is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I tried it.
To that.
I tried.
Oh,
it.
you did try it?
I tried it when I played Battlefield.
I don't right.
How did that go for you?
It went pretty good, but I did have to take my hand off the mouse sometimes so that I could hit like other buttons on the.
Yeah, I would
controller.
do that, and then I don't right click. I literally just I use the trigger for that, and I only shoot and aim. It's once you get used to it, it's like really good, and there's such a it's crazy because you'll use a normal like controller and it goes this slow, and then you use the mouse and it's like dead precise in the same game. It's kind of cheating.
Interesting.
But yeah, you have a game that you played. I understand.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I guess the closest we get to a bad game. So by far and away, the worst thing there was Star Wars Battlefront 2. So me and Daniel go to check it out. First, they bring you in a room, they explain how to play the game, which, okay, whatever. I'm sure there's plenty of people there that have never played Battlefront 2 before. The room has no air conditioning. It was all broken. The roof was leaking. They put a bucket to catch the leak, and people just started throwing trash in the bucket, so it was this smelly bucket of
Which really
garbage.
just goes to show the people that...
It was a nightmare.
Guys, have standards.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. But, so we go through the smelly bucket room, and then they sort of explain how to play the game. They kind of talk about the,
Just edit the lights.
they mention, the Solo content, I guess. I kind of really wish that they just said that we just watched Solo. That would be better. Solo was a good movie. I'm probably the only one who has that opinion here.
It makes so many people angry with this.
Rip. So we go through that, and they bring us to play the game. For starters, the only thing they had to show was the new map, the Solo map. I don't remember what it's called.
Kessel.
Yeah, it's Kessel.
It's small. It's a really tiny map.
You're right, because the Kessel won't run. Yeah, okay. So
I
they
mean,
made
it
us.
only takes 12 parsecs.
I
Yeah.
knew that was going to come in as well.
Well, it had to.
I mean,
Anyway,
if you
so
saw the movie, you'd learn something.
yeah.
About that.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so it's a small map. They only had an 8v8 mode. I don't know why. It played like Overwatch in that the rebels had to guard a moving thing.
No, the rebels were trying to extract a payload.
A payload, yeah.
And the Empire was trying to guard it and stop it.
It played exactly like an Overwatch match.
Did they call it a payload?
Oh no, they didn't call it a payload. I don't remember what they called it. But
They might as well call it a payload.
Yeah. It felt like a crappy version.
It was a bad version.
What's the name of that Overwatch play? Like that Overwatch game type?
Escort payload.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I think it is literally payload.
Yeah, it's that.
Anyway, So we have this really unfortunate. They only have this AV8 mode. They don't really know like what else. They had nothing else. They none of the cool. They announced all this Clone Wars stuff. I thought we'd get to see that.
They were talking about, you'll get to play as General Grievous.
Yeah, I wanted to play as General Grievous. That's like my favorite character from the prequel
Yeah, that would have been dope.
Yeah, none of that was there. Just this new map. Then we start playing, and they give you the headphones so you don't hear the. They had a really I didn't mind. They had a really cool remix of they had a really cool remix of Feel Good Inc. So that was okay.
Yeah, because it's right next to like the big main stage.
It's next to
where
the
Migos would come play later.
We'll talk about them later.
We'll talk about them later.
Okay,
So they have this. They give you headphones. They didn't work at all. There was no noise coming from them. So we had to play this game silently, or like everything sounded like it was really far in the distance. The other, I don't know. EA can't control this one, so this one I do not blame them for. The guys we played against had no clue what the hell they were doing.
It was so bad that we beat the game, and they're like, oh, you'll go in, you'll play a game, and then you'll leave. And they were like, no, you guys play again. That was too fast.
Yeah, they told us we won too quickly, and we had to play again. Their entire team just sat in the spawn and died. At one point, I remember specifically, I had an acid grenade. I launched it into the enemy's spawn area, and I just started watching, like, damage dealt, player killed, and I kind of hear the other people going, I don't understand why I'm dying. Some guy, I actually noticed some guy actually glitched his way up to where he shouldn't be, and was able to just literally pick them off while they're. It was really bad. It was really unfortunate. So that
was a capture event.
Yeah, I know that's entirely not EA's fault.
Well,
it's not like
they should have made us switch sides.
They should have swapped 4 people from each side when they made us play again, but they didn't.
The people running those events should know the game well enough to be like, okay, I can tell that this went really terribly last time. You guys did good. Let's bring you over here and even this out so everybody can have a fun time instead of both of you feeling like you got gypped on a game.
It also didn't help that there was one person, I'm going to say one kid playing because it was literally a kid. Like, there was some 10-year-old kid behind me. Look at, like, I can't see the screen. How do I? I'm like, this is really bad.
Don't you guys have step stools?
Yeah, like, they have all standing desks there, and if you had a wheelchair or if you were a little kid, you're not playing Battlefront tough. I don't think you could even get into the building.
Could. Yeah, it was all stairs.
Yeah, you had to. It was really unfortunate. So that was easily the biggest stinker of the show, and I tried going to a ball pit. So I don't know.
What else did we play?
Anthem.
Do we want to talk about
We
Anthem?
saw Anthem.
We saw. Well, we didn't play
An
Anthem.
extended gameplay demo.
Yeah, so I mean, we saw
that.
Anthem at the conference, but then they had a 20-minute press presentation as well that showed. So the conference was kind of jump cutty between the different people and didn't show like the full picture for the most part, whereas we saw a lot more. In the press version. So we got to see a little bit before the mission, and then kind of the boss fight. So where it ended in the press conference, we got to see after that. And there's definitely, it is Destiny-esque for sure.
There's a ghost voice
but
in it.
not in a bad way. Alex keeps saying it's a ghost voice, but it is the dude. It's the dude that's.
It's a British voice that tells you where to go.
Either way, it's a disembodied voice that is telling you what to do, and it's making quips along the way.
But it's not a little thing that follows you. I want to clarify that.
Okay.
That's true.
But I mean, even though it is a Destiny-esque, it looks like it's going to have quite a bit of depth to it.
The world is
we
super
haven't seen
cool.
everything. I mean, the world is gorgeous. Yeah. They were flying around and just kind of looking and just, holy... It's unreal. And I really like that mechanic where they fly through the waterfall and it brings your heat down.
Yeah, totally.
I was like, that's clever.
One problem I have with that, though, is if that's the only way that you use the environment in that way...
Well, it's like if you go down, it goes down too.
Yeah, but like if that's the only... If, like, cooling off your jets when you're boosting, if that's the only time the environment actually factors into, like, your aesthetical stuff and the things that you can do... then that seems like a really tacked on thing. And somebody was just like, oh, well, what if water cools you down? And somebody else was like, yeah, sure, we'll do that for Tommy. Great idea, Tommy.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. They didn't explain much beyond that. Like, oh, you can fly through the waterfall and blah blah blah.
It also implies that your jetpack's going to be overheating
Correct.
in other spots.
Which you could see. You could see that they did have a little. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I'm making the hand signal back here, but I'm not facing the camera.
Y'all can't see Daniel. He's just.
It has a little bar at the bottom that fills
wizard.
up. Which who knows what happens if that bar fills all the way up. Also, I really would have liked during the demo if we could have seen somebody either die or even get hurt a decent amount.
Yeah, they were playing with max level characters.
Did they show any damage to the the players?
Minor.
Yeah,
they took shield damage, but nobody took any damage beyond shield damage because they were all playing with level 30 characters.
Except for one person.
Because
they made a big deal about that.
Yeah.
It was a very A to B C scripted demo.
Yeah, and they played it a fucking dozen times. So.
Yeah.
So if you're taking damage at that point.
So what happens when you take damage? Does the screen flash red for a frame like in Destiny?
I don't think so. I didn't really notice.
I don't know if the person was the one that took damage, like the person you were following.
I don't know.
I can't remember now.
I don't remember ever seeing anything.
I think the person we were following did take some damage, but I can't remember.
I never felt like they were in danger of anything.
Yeah, I definitely never felt like they were in danger.
Which is not a good feeling for a video game.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably just because they were really good. Well, and by really good, I mean they've done the thing it does.
I mean, they were high level, they were doing things as a group, and I'm guessing they probably dumbed the difficulty down for the demo.
Yeah.
And they knew what to expect.
Powerful. Yeah.
So.
But I mean, the mechanics were solid, the abilities were really cool. Ultimates were sweet. There's a lot to it that looks like there is a fair amount to expand on. It's
if there's
just
a
matter
full game there,
and that's the question.
Could be something.
You know, can they do better than Destiny's done with that that game format?
Right.
And so
which if they
what
can,
do you
know, it's.
Do you think that they can from what you've seen?
I think they can from what I've seen.
I trust BioWare to do that more than Bungie.
That's unfortunate at this point.
I mean, I trust BioWare to build a big world. A great world.
Yeah.
I trust Bungie to make an incredible shooter.
Right.
The question is, can BioWare make a good shooter at the same time? It looked like the shooting mechanics were good.
The combat in Andromeda was the only good part of it.
Correct.
So
was it first person?
It was first person in the base. Like when you were loading into the thing where you were talking to your buddies.
Because in the trailer, there's no first person at all.
Correct. There's no first person combat. That we saw, there was
it's all
it's all third person.
Okay, so I wonder if you're gonna be able to snipe at all. Is that even not?
I don't know. They didn't show too many weapons.
I'm sure like zoom in if most third person shooters just zooms in when you.
Yeah. I'm hoping
the demo had a Colossus, so it was all like grenade launchers and flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Which looked very
cool.
interesting.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to see.
Yeah.
So to add in a little bit, I watched the demo without sound. When you were playing Battlefield, and just without sound, because in that theater when we were watching the demo, it's just blowing your ears out.
Oh god, that was a loud as hell demo.
Yeah, without sound though, there is so much detail in that game that you're not paying attention to because you're not following the explosions. That it looks like Destiny, but like 20 years ahead, almost like tech-wise. Like it's gonna be pretty good.
We can.
Never die?
Yeah, battery died.
Oh no!
Hang on, I got you.
Oh no.
Oh no! Technical difficulties.
And
Okay, I want to pause.
And we're back.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
That was the last thing they had.
Well, yeah, but before we get to the concert, one thing we got to talk about. That concert.
We do have to talk about that concert.
But one thing
was hilarious.
I was super disappointed about during the press conference, they showed a trailer for this game called Sea of Solitude, which I keep calling Sea of Sadness because
it's a sad game.
I mean, that's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
Sadness.
The point is, it wasn't at the EA Play. I really wanted to play that. It looked great. The dev was enthusiastic. I really enjoyed her little. It was kind of like the Unraveled from 2016, only they keep finding enthusiastic. How does EA keep finding enthusiastic devs? They had what's his face
All
from A Way
indie
Out.
devs should be enthusiastic.
Yeah, they had what's his face from A Way Out. They had the Unraveled guy. Now they had I'm just calling all these people the Unraveled guy. What's his face?
Yeah.
Now the
What's
Sea
her
of,
face? Is,
yeah. Now it's the Sea of Solitude lady.
Yomi?
Yeah, it was a.
That's
Yomi.
I think it's a developer.
Maybe it's because
German
EA is
company?
pulling all these people like these like Eastern Bloc countries
Maybe.
and bringing them, and then like
Could be.
Yeah.
literally telling them like, oh yeah, you're gonna be in front of a million people. So don't
Yeah,
worry about
none of them are used to it. It's
Yeah.
pretty odd. But the point is, I saw this trailer. I was super excited. I decided the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to find that game and play it. And it wasn't there, so I was a little sad about that. Instead, my first game was Unraveled 2, which was perfectly fine. It was equally great. We got an achievement for EA. You're welcome. You got a 10-point achievement. You owe me.
These fools tried to sign into the game to the Xbox.
That fool did.
That's so funny.
No, I just
Rookie move.
I was just trying to make a account for the second player that said Skate 4.
There was no Skate 4 there.
There was no Skate 4.
Ah.
I'm trying to add a little Skate 4 to the EA Play.
That's tomorrow.
Plant
I
the
bet.
seeds. Oh, that'd be great if it was.
I was really hoping.
That or Burnout.
Oh yeah, that's speaking of tomorrow with Microsoft tomorrow. That's the other thing I was sad. I really want to see Battlefield 5 single player. They showed like a really quick glimpse of it of the lady throwing her kid off the bridge because the Nazis were coming, and when the Nazis are coming, that's a bad thing. So
Indeed.
there are no good Nazis.
Well, speaking of brand ambassadors and high-level influencers, let me paint the picture for the ending of the evening.
Raindrop.
Oh,
Top.
God.
So hold on, I need
Yeah.
to get into more
Put a
power
cookie
posts for
on a
this
hot
one.
dog.
The power pose.
Everybody's gone at EA Play for some fucking reason. We're playing Battlefield.
Yep.
Battlefield V. And then
Those
the
are
announcer
W.
goes. That's the V now. The announcer goes, oh, and if you would like to go outside, Migo is playing.
Yeah.
And then everyone, I was like, oh, cool, Migos, and you're like, no, you said Migo. It's like, oh, damn. And then you kind of heard chatter from other people, and then he goes back on and goes, oh, I meant to say Migos, I knew that. So we go outside, and we're like, well, this is
Hello, fellow
fucking
kids.
random.
And you had to find me because I was in the VIP section.
Yeah, so this guy texts us the cheesiest selfie I've ever seen. He's like, I'm in the VIP section, guys. And we eventually get up there, we get these fanny packs.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us
You guys
fanny
can
packs
see.
for fans of the
they're-
suntan lotion we
They're
needed.
called belt bags now?
I'm sorry, belt satchels. And so, so we're watching Migos, and a couple observations. First off, no one's into it.
Oh,
That was not their crowd.
That was
not their crowd.
Migos gave it their all. That was not their crowd.
Well, and I figured out why. Because Migos every minute said, EA Sports.
It's in the game.
EA Sports, and obviously this wasn't the sports crowd. They were here for
They were for
what's the fucking
Battlefield
game we
and
just
Anthem.
talked about, Anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were here for Anthem, so of course they wouldn't like sports. They're not sportsmen. But
They're into esports.
this fucking guy next to us when we're up like in the top,
The one to our left.
yeah, this dude was into me. He's like, they were like, oh, put your finger up if you're a first year. And he's like, yeah, first year. Like, this dude was like a juggalo if this juggalo made it. That was this guy. So he's looking at me. He looks at me square in the eyes, goes, yeah, man, I'm first year. What about you? Like, I don't know, dude. And then, like, you were talking to him about something. He was just kind of, I could tell he thought that we were, like, really into it, which we were.
I was
But
enjoying
we
it, honestly.
were,
I
like,
like
super
Migos.
fans like this guy was.
Yeah. I've never heard of
Um,
Migos until today, and now I like Migos, it turns out.
So to like paint the picture, we're on the top floor of the VIP section, looking down at all the peons. And I forget who pointed it out, but they're like, "We're the only people in here that aren't like
Oh, that was me.
CEO,
I looked...
like high-end
Yeah, so
EA
we-
executives."
We managed to get into the VIP area. I don't know
we-
what
I
magic
literally-
our badges
I
had.
literally walked in, like, they were like, yeah, sure, whatever, you can go up there. You have the black badge thing, you can go up there. And then I saw someone else from our team like, yeah, hey, come up here. And there's a staff guy next to me. He's like, oh, you need his attention? Yeah, I'll get him for you. Don't worry about it. And then I got everyone up there. The VIP section was interesting. It had, like, chairs. There were Xboxes and PCs with with
Origin
access.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I spent
an hour playing inside because
I tried to play multiple like Battlefield. They had Battlefield 4
Daniel
and
could only
Battlefield
play
1.
with himself.
Yeah. I literally like I logged into the game. Everything was going great. It picked a matchmaking. Oh, what a breeze! And then I get in there and I'm the only fucking person. I'm like, are these connected to the internet? And the lady's like, yeah. That's how it works. I'm like, okay.
yeah, I was looking through the list of games. Like, I'm at this really loud event. I'm gonna play like a quiet stealth game inside, super atmospheric game. You need to be really into it. I'm at this event. It actually was fantastic. Just inside's a good game. I'm gonna have to get around to that.
We were up in the VIP area, and then we start looking around and like, these are all EA executives.
They were all, I don't know how.
They're all in
just,
suits.
Yeah. They all had these badges that said EA employee. It was.
I don't know how we got in there, but it was fun.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
fun.
It was an awesome experience.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that Migos got to show their gamer pride. And they're big fans of EA Sports. Well, this is the funny thing. They kept saying EA Sports, so like you would assume like, oh, they just saw that on a piece of paper. Like, oh, I guess that's just paying us. But then he like, the DJ goes like, all right, EA Sports, and then he does the exact perfect EA Sports voice. He goes, EA Sports, it's in the game, and it's like, oh wait, maybe this guy actually plays the game.
And it was the type of impersonation that came from like years of love and hearing that ingrained.
Yeah, that is someone
was
who.
Perfect. You could hear him kind of laugh a little bit afterwards, like I got it.
Yeah, that is someone who actually gave a shit and was also in this really weird position.
Yeah, and he was just like having fun.
Yeah,
he was
having
fun.
This.
It was awesome.
He was having a good. I'm glad. Like I said, I don't think there was anything wrong with the performance. I thought the performance was great. It was just the totally wrong crowd.
It was so weird.
Yeah,
It was not the right crowd.
You look into the crowd. There's like someone there with their children on leashes, which I had the displeasure of seeing that.
Yeah, we saw some stuff.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
But that I guess that shows how good they are as performers. Like the crowd's not into it, but they put on a really good show.
they gave it
I think
all.
everybody still looked like they still had a great time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, people probably just didn't know what to do for the most part.
They gave it their best shot.
So basically, if you can take anything away from this whole thing, it's that we've been paid off by EA.
Yeah, that's exactly. That is your takeaway right
They
there.
entertained us.
They gave us Amigos.
Sims thing?
That's my hair
it's,
chalk.
it's hair
That's my hair chalk
color.
that they made my hair green for a while. This is going back on every day for E3. It's happening.
Oh,
I'm
I
gonna
thought
be-
that was mold.
All right, wow. We are not friends anymore. Best friendship with Daniel ended.
Who is your new friend?
My new friend. I haven't picked one yet. My new friend is this piece of chalk. That's.
No, you gotta make your.
I'm gonna be known as green hair. Sam.
Yarny is new friend.
Yarny's gonna be my new friend when I make him. I got both red and blue Yarny because Alex gave me his Yarny, which is very nice of him.
My hands will not be able to make a Yarny.
That's okay. My hands won't either. I'm gonna give this to my sister and tell her to do it.
Someone will eventually.
There will be a Yarny created out of this at some point. I swear, it just won't be me.
Generations from now.
This will be. I will hand this down to my children.
Yes.
It will be the Yarny. I will not have any children.
So yeah, I think now it's
Beyond
like
that.
40 minutes.
Yeah. Do we have? So we've got some people watching right now. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah,
Or
does
just,
anyone
like,
have any questions?
like-
It's on the stream.
I don't know if anybody's.
Somebody popped in and made a comment, but beyond that, it's been pretty quiet.
It's okay. It's like
We're also streaming pretty late.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super.
Do we
busy.
want to talk about? Actually, no, because then we're gonna get into a whole fucking rabbit hole and be here all night.
Yeah, we can do that tomorrow.
We'll get to.
How about this? Just one positive, one negative from EA Play, starting with Alex.
Okay.
Positive first.
I like how Anthem looks pretty much. Destiny but better. Just it could be anyway. Like flying through the air and all that looks pretty good. Negative. It was the conference was kind of a standard. Didn't really have too many surprises. Didn't really have too many things to wow people. And the next Star Wars game is coming next fall.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
That's
we
one
didn't,
negative
Oh,
for
fuck
sure.
that.
We didn't even mention
So,
that type.
There's not
To be
much
fair,
to mention.
Yeah, they
Yeah, we're
barely
gonna
mentioned
mention.
Yeah,
it.
Oh, what's his face?
So
Yeah,
What did you say?
Zampella really didn't want to talk about it.
He didn't want
He,
me there. I kind
he
of
tweeted about it yesterday and was like, we don't have any details to share tomorrow. And then today they're like, so what have you got? And he's like, I guess I'll talk
We're
about
talking
it.
with Lucas to
And
figure
obviously
out the
people are
name.
upset because they didn't reveal much and they want more, but
Yeah.
you know, it's
There's nothing to show.
they are not
It's-
ready to show anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, for anybody that's watching this, you know, just let them do what they need to do. They were not expecting to share anything yesterday. That was pretty clear.
Yeah, it
I
happens.
think it was something that
Just had to be
EA or Disney or somebody was just
Yeah,
like, you
it's-
have to say something today.
done. Something has to be said.
Yeah,
So-
with it, what they have that 10-year contract with Star Wars, and they've only put out 2 games so far.
Yeah.
And I guess the mobile game we're gonna count.
Canceled
that.
one.
Did you do your negative?
Yeah, that
Alright,
was
cool.
the Star Wars.
Yeah, so my positive is not game related at all. So I went to it last year, which was a disaster. That's where the one guy said the N-word.
What?
Yeah.
We don't have time.
God.
No,
This sounds like a story that
Just
I-
watch it, you'll see it. They did a really good job of getting rid of it.
Oh, right, I remember.
Yeah,
Keep
so
going.
I think the presenter, she was really good.
She was.
She kept it going. She didn't fuck up once. She came out. She even like the awkward Star Wars thing. She clearly knew how to keep that going and keep the momentum going and kind of like fill the time that they need to fill, but without like putting him on the spot really that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he would kind of waffle, she would take over, and it was actually a pretty good press conference. So hopefully the rest moving forward are of that level, the PC game show. And my negative is that I didn't get the umbrella hat.
Yeah, that's pretty
Actually,
good.
no, my actual legitimate negative is honestly that Battlefield had a couple things that kind of annoyed me, but we can't really talk about them right now, so it's even more frustrating. But it was a good game.
Yeah, so my positive, I gotta say Anthem, it turned out to be probably what I was expecting, maybe a little more. So it's something I'm excited to see grow. Negative,
It's hard. Isn't it?
if it's gonna be non-game related, I gotta say having to sit in line like that today, that was tough. There was a lot of cool stuff we could have been shooting today. So that was kind of frustrating.
Alright, well, my positive is that I got a new adoptive mother, it turns out.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we got
god.
so- I had to squeeze the story in somewhere. Playing Battlefield 5, there are these two women from Google there. It says Google on their name badge, that's the only reason why I know that. They legitimately asked me, like, how are you today? Like, what have you been doing? They were the most, they were super interested in everything, even though I don't think they cared about video games at all. They loved talking to people. They honestly seemed interested in everything they said. We went inside to play Battlefield 5. They stood behind me and cheered me on as I killed people and laughed when I blew up a teammate. Battlefield 5 was great. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. And these two ladies behind me made it like so much better because they were super polite and it was the most wholesome thing.
Just to kind of build that story a little bit, when they were talking to us, they literally went like this. It was, I'll be here, you be you. How are you doing today at EA?
I'm doing wonderful.
Wow, that is so great. I am so glad you're having a good time. And just like on that tone, for a couple minutes, and then as we're playing, they're coming behind us like, oh, you boys are doing good. And it was like, what the fuck?
It was the most wholesome thing I've ever seen.
But it made me feel really like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So-
Thanks, Mom.
I don't know who
Yeah,
either of them were.
And they both worked for Google, so we call them the Google Moms.
Yeah, they were the Google moms. They were the nicest, most wholesome people. They turned Battlefield 5 was already great. I loved nearly every second I spent with it, especially when I found the hilariously overpowered machine gunner class. That was hidden in the game somewhere. I can actually talk about that because I played the version that all the normal people got to play, not your fancy.
Let's just wait
thing.
for the Battlefield video.
Yeah, let's wait for the
Yeah, alright, I won't talk about
Battlefield
Battlefield
video. We'll touch on
anymore. Google Moms made it better. The one thing I didn't like was I already talked about the bucket room. I don't know what was going on with that room. Battlefront was bad, and bucket room really made that. What was that?
Yeah.
The leaky ceiling, no AC room. They crammed 32 people in. Maybe it's not really a 32 people room, and the trash bucket that it was leaking into that stank the whole place up. It was horrifying. Don't have a bucket room, please.
Don't have a
All right, that's my negative.
What about you, Daniel?
It's all yours.
well, here, I'm gonna spin this around. How's this look? Can
You can just like sit over here with the rest of us. No, you gotta get it all fucking.
Look at Daniel there. That's our setup.
You're like just a
I'll
shot
scoot
of
up.
just me now.
Just me.
Just zoom in on me. I'm the
Ooh,
important
let me
one.
squeeze it over here. Hey guys, how's it going? This couch is nice. I don't think I've sat here yet.
There you are.
Oh, that would have been good.
That actually would have been.
That actually was really nice.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, but then you showed everyone the bed.
That's my bed. It's
Yeah,
fine.
no one should have to see that mess.
Everybody
They
should.
don't need to see the squalor.
They don't need to see
You guys
the
do not
magic
need to
happens. All right, so my best thing, my favorite thing that I saw was definitely 100%. I think Battlefield. Yeah, I mean, like everything about Battlefield was super cool. Specifically, I love it's a carryover from Battlefield 1, but I really love the like multi-mission type of gameplay, and they've expanded on that to where it's sort of like an entire like it's really recreating like big famous battles over multiple days, and that's really cool. It's broken up really nicely, and I had a blast playing that. My least favorite thing, probably the fact that when we were watching Anthem, it felt like we were just rewatching the same thing that they'd shown us inside. Like, just because there are people sitting in the corner behind screens doesn't make it feel like I'm watching somebody play the game. If I could have, maybe there was a webcam on somebody's face that was up close and they were talking to me as they were playing, or I don't know, it was more of a let's play type deal, but instead it was really just like, hey, you're watching a video and those people in the corner are on computers. So that made it feel real weird.
It's like that one. I know it's not the Onion. It's one of the parody game sites, probably point clickbait. Had an article like, oh, this team is training their voice for fake trailer
Yeah.
team speak.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that sounds like what that was.
Whenever I think of the Onion, I always think of the article that's everyone knows you're high. But yeah,
Sadly, Snoop Dogg was not there for someone to be high.
So who's closing this one out?
Why don't you open it up?
Fuck, all right. Well, I guess I
We're
was
gonna make Nick do it too.
Yeah.
Nick,
So
why don't you do it?
close up on me. No, it's fine. You can say it.
Just
Yeah.
get up and move.
All right. Yeah. So that was our impressions of EA Play. Really long day. All in the sun. We're pretty exhausted. We've been working all day. We have a bunch of other stuff that we still need to get through. Yeah. So tomorrow's Xbox. We'll do another one of these at night, and then same thing the next night, and then
Yeah, much earlier. tomorrow.
yeah, and then the day after that, we're gonna have 2 more people here that are finally gonna actually show up, and yeah, so special guests Andrew and Alex.
They're our friends too.
They're gonna talk about the car ride from the airport, how that press conference went for them. But yeah, so big day tomorrow, and yeah, so it's 3 a.m. for some of you.
3 a.m. for some. Technically, it's still 3 a.m. for me. My body
Yes, East
ain't
Coast
enjoy
days.
these time zones.
Either way,
Hashtag you.
yeah, we're gonna have stuff going out on social media all day tomorrow, so don't wait for our live streams.
Be sure to leave all of your opinions about Command and Conquer on that video, and just remember, everybody, origin cards are garbage.
Oh God.
There we go.
Good night.
Fuck
get rid of
me.
that.
Good night. Good night. How do I stop this? It's up here. Good night.
I don't know.
Good night.
That was cold.
Are we done?
That was
Are we
cold.
are we gone?
We had the most amount of people right there at the end.